Welcome in. Hopefully, you can all hear me this Sunday morning. If you can't and you are watching, please add it to the comments. We had that incident last week. So hopefully this week that is not the case and you guys can all hear me. We're gonna have some fun here. It's week 12. We're getting close. It's the nitty and the gritty as far as wins and losses and what will get us into those playoffs. So hopefully today we can make all the right decisions and we get ourselves some of those wins out there. Plenty of questions. Had a thread rolling since about 9 a.m. Typically do that every Sunday and try to get through as many of those. So I will catch up on those as well here as we are live. Also, obviously, if you are watching, go ahead, send over to the FTN Fantasy tweet, drop your question in the comment. I'll pull that up here. If you're on YouTube, same as well. Drop them in the comments. I will go ahead and pull that up. We'll get them answered for you. Hopefully, we get them answered correctly and we can get us in a better spot for the playoffs, maybe into the playoffs, depending on your league settings. If you're playing Scott Fishbowl on to the next round, I am looking a little bit dicey there, a little bit dicey. Also, all my dynasty leagues. I have a dynasty league that somehow I managed to have all three of my Superflex quarterbacks on bye this week. So I'm right there with all of you. So if you think it's just you that needs help with these bye weeks, it's all of us. And it happens. Some of that poor management by myself here. So don't be me in dynasty leagues. Don't do it. Definitely have a few that I'm just basically just not starting a quarterback this week. So it's pretty cool because people want a king ransom for quarterbacks. So, even the bad ones. I was just trying to get anybody. It just wasn't happening. So I'll take the 0. It's all right. Some of those leagues are set up. I can afford a loss. We'll start here. Stacy was in here early prior to the start of the show. So we'll start it off with Stacy. Need to pick up a quarterback off a waiver wire. Here are my choices: Tua, Williams, Stafford, and Darnold. So I would probably go Tua here. Don't love Tua in general, but it's New England. Maybe New England will probably play them pretty hard. They have historically. It's one of those back and forth games, much like we saw Cleveland defeat Pittsburgh on Thursday night. When you get in those interdivisional games, it always turns into a bloodbath. I would lean Tua. My second would be Stafford there. I'm going to avoid Caleb Williams against Minnesota. It's, we've seen what Brian Flores can do. Rookie quarterback, Sam Darnold. On the other side, Chicago has been pretty solid defensively. So I would go with either Tua or Stafford. Lean with Tua to start there. We got Camille in here as well. Hey, how's it going? Just over here living. Some people need help. Yeah, I need some bye week help as well. So 1 wide receiver, 2 running backs, 2 flex wide receiver. Okay. So we got a list here. So we got 1 wide receiver. So who's your best receiver in here? So we're going CeeDee Lamb is a definite start at that receiver position. Your 2 running backs are going to be Kyron, for me at least, and Ramondre would probably be my 2 starting running backs. My flex position, I would probably half PPR. I'd probably roll with the running backs. I'd start all 4 running backs and play Lamb. Worried about Pittman against this Detroit secondary that's been really good as of late. If you look at season long, not so much, but as of late, they've been pretty strong. Also, still not convinced that Anthony Richardson's going to be the Jets' Anthony Richardson. Maybe, but Detroit is a tough defense, so avoiding that at all costs. Jalen Waddle's intriguing. If you wanted to go with Jalen Waddle, say over like Bucky Irving for more of a splash type of play, I like it. But all 4 of these running backs are in pretty good spots this week. Chuba's got the hardest matchup, but probably volume based. I still think he'll have a majority of the touches, could fall in the end zone. And the Chiefs have been a little leaky as of late for Chuba Hubbard. So probably going all 4 running backs again and Lamb at wide receiver. Evan, how's it going? Boy, Terry McLaurin killing me as of late. Every time I say start Terry McLaurin, it doesn't go well. So if I say don't start him, maybe it's going to be the week. You never know. Seems like that. Seems like my college football betting is going the same way, Every time, they're off by a half a point or they don't cover the spread by 1 point. They're just killing me. Killing me over there in the CFB world, but that's for a different day. Get off my soapbox. But Terry McLaurin or Mike Evans would be Mike Evans for me. Terry does have a very strong matchup. The issue that I worry is like this could also be a Noah Brown. A little bit of a revenge game there. case people don't know, Noah Brown did play for the Dallas Cowboys prior to his time in Houston. So a little bit of revenge game narrative there. We're rolling with Noah Brown, who I think will probably have one of the better days. So I'd probably go Mike Evans. I think that Baker's just going to feed him and feed him and feed him. It's bad news for K. Dot and the rest of them. See here, ECSJLH, Debo Samuel or Jameson Williams. I'd probably still roll Debo. I know it's not been great. I know it's Brandon Allen, but like Brandon Allen's serviceable. We've seen this offense work on serviceable quarterbacks in the past. So Jameson, I mean, he's probably going to maybe have a big play again this week. Indy secondary is not much better than Jacksonville's. So if you want the splash play, I guess it depends where you want. The safe floor is Deebo Samuel. The splash play would be Jameson Williams there for you, ECS. Demetrius, how's it going? We got 2 of 4, Quentin Johnston, Josh Downs, DJ Moore, and Calvin Ridley. All right, so it'd be Calvin Ridley for me for sure. I like the matchup for him today. I think that he should be decent. Let's see here. DJ Moore, Josh Downs, Quentin Johnston. You're kind of looking at some iffy scenarios here. Josh Downs, I don't love him against Detroit. Kind of what I just mentioned with Michael Pittman. They've been weak all season, but as of late have gotten much better as far as defending the pass goes. So I'd probably go Ridley and Johnston, to be honest here. That'd probably be my top 2 there for you, Demetrius. ECS, not really. I mean, DJ Moore's safe again. He's kind of Deebo Samuel. DJ Moore and Deebo Samuel are kind of like the same feelings for me. Deebo just is an even better floor, so I'd probably still roll Deebo if I wanted floor. Ceiling play still feels like Jameson. I'm just worried about the Bears against Brian Flores' defense with Caleb Williams at the helm. PPR sitting Kyron for Kareem Hunt, Brian Robinson, or Josh Jacobs. Am I nuts? No. I kind of have bumped Kyron up a little bit, but then I've also bumped him back down in my rankings. I'm lower than the rest of the consensus at FTN on Kyron this week. I know that the Eagles are probably going to, at least Quinyon Mitchell is going to shut down one of the receivers. But I still think with DeMarcus Robinson and the opposite of whether that's Cup or Puka, like they're still going to be able to throw on what is a pretty bad secondary. I mean, it's been better, so it's arguable, I guess. Hunt prime matchup, I like that for sure. That's a start there. Brian Robinson as well, and I really like Josh Jacobs in what should be kind of a little bit of a weather game. So I don't think you're nuts at all. Some people may call you nuts, Ryan, but I don't think so. And if they tell you you're nuts, Ryan, tell them you can play the game however I want. All right? It's my team. I can do whatever I want. Evan, Jaden Reed, or Jameson Williams. Go Bills. Yeah, we don't have to fret that out tonight, Evan. No Bills. Don't got to worry about it. We just get to sit back and watch the chaos and enjoy it. Other than our fantasy teams, and we can panic and look at our phone every 5 minutes. Suggest not to do that, though. It is actually relieving. I used to do that literally all the time. And then I heard a colleague, a.k.a. Jeff Radcliffe, mention that he doesn't ever look at it, and it made it so much better. And it's a relief. It really does. I'm telling you. I look at halftime of each thing. You know what I mean? Roughly. Just to kind of see where we're at. Or if I see a big performance, I go, oh, yeah, did I start him or not? Check it. But I'm not over their scoreboard watching it. It does no good. Once we lock that lineup, it's set, Evan. So, just sit back. Don't got to fret the Bills. Just sit back. Enjoy a Sunday. Red zone, maybe. Something. But start Jaden Reed. Unless you want the upside play of Jameson Williams, much like ECS had said. Reed and Debo, very similar, kind of the safe-ish type of plays. Jameson Williams, though, could be a home run again this week. Very weak secondary in Indianapolis. My concern is like, but again, I had this concern last week was, well, they're not going to throw the ball that much, and they still did. So, Evan, maybe it is going to be another Jameson Williams week. But Puda Mike, welcome back. I feel like I have a question weekly. That's fine. That's what I'm here for. You know what I mean? You're keeping me employed. I like it, Puda Mike, And it's just reassurance. That's how I always like to look at it. The start-sit stuff, it's reassurance. More times than not, you guys have the smart choice and know what you want to do. But I would go with Bo Nix here. very similar in rankings. I just think that the Denver Los Angeles game might be a little bit closer. I think we see a lot of Kareem Hunt in the second half there for Kansas City against Carolina. I don't think they're gonna stump up on this one, especially after losing to the Bills. They're gonna definitely want to get this one in the win column there in Kansas City. ECS, how are we doing? Rico Dowdle or Debo? I'd still go Debo. I'm not in on Rico Dowdle. It's a tough matchup for him today, so I'm not going to roll with that on Rico Dowdle, despite the volume that he's projected to have. Demetrius, one more Tyrone, Tracy, Rashad White, or Jacoby Myers. Ooh. Rashad's not bad. I still always lean Rashad White over Irving just because of the passing work. And it's not that Irving can't handle passing work. It's just Tampa Bay wants to give it to Rashad White. So it is what it is. So I do like Rashad White, but I still go Tyrone Tracy here. I think that the Giants aren't going to really make DeVito do a ton through the air. So you're going to see a lot of running, and that's probably a mix of Tyrone Tracy and Devin Singletary, and maybe even DeVito at times. So I would probably go Tyrone Tracy a little bit here. Also playing from behind, I think maybe Tracy could get some passing down work. I know that Singletary will see some as a better blocker, but I still do think Rashad White probably does score though. So, I mean, let's see. Where exactly do I have? Here, let me tell you, Demetrius, how close this is. It's very close. So yeah, I have Tracy at 17, and I have Rashad White 23. I guess I have him lower than I thought. Yeah, I'd probably go Tyrone Tracy. Aaron, Waddle, QJ, and Goddard in flex. Aaron, I'd probably roll Dallas Goddard as a safer-ish play. Quentin Johnston's always a home run. He's boom or bust. He's basically Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis disappeared. Gabe Davis walked for Quentin Johnston to run. Is that the correct terminology that we use nowadays? But yeah, I would probably go Goddard if you want to safe play Quentin Johnston if you're looking for the home run swing. If you're Aaron Judge and you're swinging her hard, go Quentin Johnston there. James, good morning. What are your thoughts on AJ? I'm assuming that's Aaron Jones. Got an offer for him on Brian Robinson, Brian Thomas, and tempted to take. That's actually not a bad offer. James, clarify for me, is it Aaron Jones or is it AJ Brown? Because it could be two different AJs there, depending on how we differentiate initials there, James. Matt, starting with Will Disley over Swift today. Wish me luck. I'll wish you luck. I wouldn't do it, but I have had a lot of questions about Swift this morning. I know he was kind of battling a little bit of an injury coming into the week. I know he's still questionable, but the Bears are going to be from behind, so I think there's going to be some passing work in for DeAndre Swift there, Matt. Just my 2 cents. I do still like Will Disley, though. Let me know, too. Good morning. Who do you start? PPR, Leggett, or McMillan, or Trey Benson? The bye weeks are killing me. They're killing us all. I just literally said I may have DeVito and Brandon Allen starting in a couple spots. Or no quarterbacks, to be honest, because nobody wanted to trade with me, and I'm in Dynasty, and they don't have any quarterbacks on free agent wire. Either way, I would probably go Leggett here, most likely to see the volume. Should be playing from behind. Trey Benson is really only a play when you have a game script that projects the Cardinals to basically obliterate an opponent. He is not going to be taking work. We've only seen it because the Cardinals have been beating teams as of late. So I would go with Xavier Leggett for now, unless Trey Benson shows something different this week. But I still think it's James Conner's show moving forward outside of an injury there in Arizona. McMillan, I think they force feed Evans and Cade Otton today, so I am not in on Jalen McMillan either. Good morning, Rachel. Tootsie Pop 6, Sterling Shepard or Kendrick Bourne? Kendrick Bourne for me. Again, kind of that same premise there. I think that Evans and Otton are the ones that are going to eat, as well as the running backs. So McMillan and Shepard will fight for the scraps, which doesn't leave us much. I would go with the upside of what Kendrick Bourne can be in a wide receiver room, that it's just whoever's week it tends to be that week. And I really like Kendrick Bourne. I was in on Kendrick Bourne prior to his injury. What was that, last year? So, yeah, I think Kendrick Bourne can make a impact down the stretch here for us. J.K. Dobbins or Jaden Reed. I would probably roll Jaden Reed here. JK just feels like it. I mean, it's a revenge game, but so it is for Gus Bus. Like, unless they fall in the end zone, it might not be great here for the Chargers running backs. So I would probably go Jaden Reed there for you. Ridley or Tyrone Tracy. I would go Tyrone Tracy here for you, SK Bestie. Appreciate it, Demetrius. Toss us a follow. Subscribe on YouTube too if you got a YouTube. They would appreciate that very much so. I would as well. Much more. Oh, yeah, James, A.J. Brown. So that's where I was concerned. I was going to say it was Aaron Jones. I was going to be like, that's a screaming deal. I mean, I guess it depends on your league size, James. Like, if you're playing like a 10-team league where like the studs man, or for example, also the starting lineup, like if you only start 2 wide receivers, 1 flex, and I've got solid running backs already, and Brian Robinson's really just a bench guy, and then so then like Brian Thomas has to start, like, yes, it's good. He's had his flashes, but like he's also battering an injury. Like Lawrence is up and down there as far as he's going to be back, but like he's still kind of injured. So like I would lean towards AJ Brown still. I know it hasn't been the easiest go for him, but I still think I would probably stay AJ Brown, James. Hubbard or Pollard in flex for Floyd here. So I got them 3 spots apart. Both have tough matchups. I would probably go Pollard. Like, he has the clear role. Like, I mean, nobody's getting touched besides him today without Tajay Spears in there. We are going to see Jonathan Brooks today, so we don't know how that shapes up. I do think Hubbard still handles a significant majority of those touches, but I do probably lean towards Tony Pollard a little bit there, Floyd. Matt should have benched Tillman, but I figured he'd bounce back, so a tough situation. I've Otten. Disley Swift concerns me a lot with this groin and split back work against a good Vikings defense. Yeah, it's a pretty good Vikings defense. I get it, Matt, 100%. Yeah, Tillman was tough. I played Jerry Jeudy. I thought Jeudy was probably the better play of that game just because I thought Tillman playing on the outside. And that's what we're going to see with Tillman, I think, going forward. The struggle is what the defenses decide to target as their top guy, whether that's Jeudy or Tillman. So it's going to be a little bit of a matchup game, Matt, with Tillman going forward, but it happens, it happens. We can only do with what we can here. So Disley, Otten, or Swift. Yeah, I mean, I would prefer Otten over Disley, honestly, but up to you, Matt, if you ride either way. And I get the concerns with Swift. I just think that if you're down on Tillman, like, Swift has a huge ceiling. Like, Disley and Otten really don't. Like, I mean, the chance of them hitting 20 points is absurdly low. Swift, still low, but like definitely a better potential. So I don't know what your total situation is, but like if you really need a swing for the fences play, it's Swift as opposed to the tight ends. That's just my 2 cents there, Matt. Floyd Watson or Odunze, I would go with Rome Odunze. I mean, it's gonna be tough here for both of these teams, both these guys, both these teams in both matchups. So I'll go Odunze. Had a pretty good target share last week. Maybe rides that out again. Watson's still kind of the big play guy, high production, low touches. So don't really love that, Floyd. You are welcome. Let me know. Matt, sounds good. Yeah, I mean, that's the struggle, Matt. Is like if you're projected to lose by a couple points, like maybe you still ride with Disley or Otten. But like if you're just say they're projected to lose by like 7 to 10, like I would ride Swift. And like you said, hope for the best. You're welcome, BJ. Reset season. What's up, KC or Washington's defense needs some upside? I'd play Washington's defense. Yeah. Yeah. Play Washington's defense. I think Cooper Rush will give up more sacks than Bryce. Well, I mean, it's Bryce Young. Yeah, go with Washington. I'd do Washington. Reset season. Not totally confident there, as you can tell. Defenses are tough. You're really looking for who's going to score a touchdown. And I would think maybe Washington divisional game, probably more likely to score a touchdown in that realm. All righty, let's roll back here. Let's get Twitter to operate here for me. X, whatever we want to call it here. Again, if you're watching, you can definitely just head on into any of the threads that are going. I should be able to get to those either way. Or just drop them in here, much like Matt just did. Jake Moody viable this week? Yeah, I think so. I think San Francisco's going to be fine. I think they're going to move the football. I mean, are they going to be like a top tier echelon like they are with Brock Purdy? No. But I do think that Brandon Allen will be serviceable. I think that the scheme is friendly enough. You'll see a lot of Christian McCaffrey. I think Moody, outside of depending who's there, I think Moody will be an average kicker. I mean, he might not be the best kicker, but he's going to be an average kicker with still tremendous upside as far as being the best kicker today, as far as fantasy goes. Alvarez on X here. He's got Hurts, Achane, Irving, Jefferson, St. Brown, McBride, Evans in the lineup. Let's know if he should change him out for anybody. Harrison, Kittle, Murray, Neighbors. Ooh, that's a good team. Nah, I like that. Eberas. Oh, caps lock is on. Morning, James. How are you doing? I'm well. Swell. James, hopefully you're swell as well. Westbrook, Ikine, Keenan Allen, and Ricky Pearsall. I would be going with Westbrook, Ikine. It is a good matchup. And I mean, the guy, all he does is score touchdowns. At some point, things become a pattern and they aren't luck anymore. And at this point, it's pretty much a pattern for Westbrook, Ikine to find the end zone more times than not in games that he is playing right now. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to ride that. Maybe if you want to call it luck or which. But I'm going to ride with it. Roshan, Benson, or Akers for Dewey here. I would go Rojo there. Much like Matt has been talking about, maybe Rojo sees some split touches more than expected. I think he's probably more likely than the other two to see touches unless Aaron Jones or the others get injured. Matt projected to lose by 8. It's up to you, Matt. I still think I'm riding DeAndre Swift. I am. I think I'm not as worried about that injury. I think the Bears are gonna try to get him involved. So at least in the passing game. So I would probably ride it. But it's your team. You do you. I do think, though, Swift is your best option there. We got Fantasy Football Fanatic right now. I've got Zay Flowers on the bench. My gut tells me it's the right call with these guys in the lineup. Agreed, sir. He's got Metcalf, Lamb, and Nakua starting. Just made it look like I'm yelling at him all caps. Yes, Matt, I would play Kate Otten over Disley. I think that's going to be Kate Otten and Mike Evans, Rashad White. It's a passing attack, truthfully. And Tampa Bay, very centric around those three. Will Disley, I do think, could have a decent day. Baltimore is a little bit leaky to tight ends, but they're also leaky to like wide receivers. So Lad McConkey and Quentin Johnston, Josh Palmer, like these guys are all going to eat. You also are going to see if they get near the red zone, they're going to probably be going with the revenge game narratives, and Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins will likely be trying to get fed to get into the end zone there. At least I hope they do. Give those guys some revenge. They didn't want to sign them. Here they are shredded. I mean, Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry or those two. I get why they did it, but I'm a JK guy. It's over the shoulder. Get my boy JK in the end zone there. So Tony on X, any changes? He's got Knicks, Tua, Henry, Irving, Brown, Flowers, Javante, Kelsey, Johnston, Aaron Jones. This is a pretty strong lineup here, sir. Ooh, he's got Jennings, Otten, Debo on the bench. Yeah, I would play Jennings over Flowers there for you, Tony. Jennings over Flowers. Last I saw Matt, yes, at this point in time, Lad is a game time decision. So you are right there. He may not play, which would probably give Disley a little bit of a bump, but we're not gonna know that. And then if Lad does play and Disley doesn't get as much volume as we expect, you're a little, a little out of luck. I mean, Disley will still be involved. He won't give you a 0, but I mean, maybe wait it out. We got a couple hours here till kickoff. Write it out. See if anything comes out on Lad. If it does, I'll probably be mentioning it on here because I'm sure people will still be asking about Lad up until the 1 o'clock window. So, Downs, yeah, I'm not totally in. I think he's a viable flex depending on who you're up against, Matt. But I don't believe Anthony Richardson of what we saw last week is who we're going to see this week. The Jets defense isn't the Jets. They're like giving up at this point in time. So until I see it from Anthony Richardson against a good defense that's trying harder, I'll say trying harder. They were trying, but harder than the Jets were last week. I'll give Downs the benefit of the doubt. Trenton on X, Herb or Daniels. I would go Daniels there. If I could type Daniels. And then Abdullah or Romeo Dubes. I'm riding the Abdullah train. I'm doing it. Garbage time, Matt. Whoa. I got way too many windows open. That's what's happening right now. My screens are popping all over the joint. Garbage time magic could happen a little bit, Matt, but I don't know if that totally happens, to be honest. Downs is good, though, Matt. I'm not saying he isn't. It's more the quarterback that I'm worried about. KL, good morning. Happy man. I'm happy. I'm happy. It's Sunday. We got football. Yeah. Excited. Don't have to worry about the Bills. So that's a plus. Start one. Leggett, Waddle, Watson. I would probably go Waddle here. Like the matchup against New England. At some point, the game's got to come, right? That's my analysis. It's got to come at some point. I feel like this could be the week here for Jalen Waddle. So I would roll there. David, good morning. How are you doing? Peeps. You know what? I like the word peeps. Every time I hear it, though, I always think about the little marshmallow peeps. I don't really like them, but I just, they're iconic. Just makes me think of it. Side notes amongst the start sit show. Floyd, thoughts on Neighbors and Q Johnson? I like both of them. Johnston, I think is a little bit boomer bust. He's Gabe Davis this year. Mentioned it a little bit earlier. Malik Neighbors, it can't get worse. Let's be honest. Hopefully DeVito is a little bit more on time, maybe a little bit more accurate. Probably not, but we'll see. As long as he can get the ball in the Neighbors' hands, Neighbors can do some things with it. So I still like both of them this week. Fingers crossed. It's this week for Jalen Waddle there for you, KL. Jax Bauer, Coker, or Butte. Buys made it tough. Yeah, that's tough. I would probably go Keyshawn Butte there. Jalen Coker, we're going to see maybe Adam Thielen today. The Chiefs are very good at eliminating certain players from your matchup. And I think that will be the receivers. I think Jatavion Sanders is in for a big day in Carolina. Hernandez says on X, Mahomes or Anthony Richardson today would be Mahomes. I'm not in. I am not in on the Anthony Richardson train. I know a lot of people are. I am not. I still have him as a quarterback 2, just outside the top 12, but plenty of other quarterbacks to start ahead of Anthony Richardson for me. Philly Birds start 2, Tyreek Hill, Lad McConkey, Malik Neighbors, or JSN. JSN in a smash, as people like to call it, spot. I really like him today. We've got Tyreek Hill, Lad McConkey, Neighbors. I would probably go Neighbor, or I'll go Neighbors there. Tyreek, that's a strong Philly. That's a strong team, man. I don't know why you only got to start 2. I want to know who else you're starting. You're not playing them. Hot takes on X. Whole team is on bye, Parcell or Brooks. I would go Jonathan Brooks there. The only saving grace, I think, to Jonathan Brooks' day is maybe they're behind by a lot, and maybe we see him in the passing game. That's kind of my prediction, I guess, would be the play here. Yeah, I think that would be the best scenario there for Jonathan Brooks. David, Kyler Murray, Justin Herbert, or Bo Nix. I mean, he's got like all 5 of the top 12 or top 6 for me this week. But the highest of this group is Justin Herbert. I like the spot for him against Baltimore, so I would probably roll out Justin Herbert. Bo Nix is a strong start. Divisional game, though. Gets scary a little bit there for me with Bo Nix. He's been reliable. And then Kyler Murray, again, divisional game, scary a little bit. So I'd just go Justin Herbert. Feels safe right now. He's playing really good. The matchup is prime for a quarterback against Baltimore, so I'd roll with that. Robert, Hunter Henry, Zach Ertz, or Cade Otton. I would probably go Cade Otton here, Robert. All 3 are very good starts again. 3 top 12 tight ends for me this week. Cade Otton and Hunter Henry are back to back right at the tail end of the tight end 1 range. So I would probably go with Otton unless you have a strong lean towards Henry. Only plus for Henry is there's no actual alpha receiver returning from an injury, much like Cade Otton has. So I could make a case going either direction, but Cade Otton's got the profile and kind of been the hot hand as of late in Tampa Bay. So I'd probably roll with Cade Otton there. SK Bestie, need 2 out of Sutton, Harrison Jr., and Dell Jennings. Also, FYI, if you guys are putting emojis in, they all just show up as this weird thing here. /U0026. So if that's a person, I don't know. I'm just thinking it could be CD, could be Lamb, could be somebody. I don't know. Just letting you know. I have no idea who that is. So, of who's here, SK Bestie, I would say Sutton and Harrison Jr. are my 2 starts for you. David Dubensky, we got DJ Moore or Myers, also starting Bowers. I wouldn't be so sure that Patrick Surtain covers Myers there, David. Myers actually had a decent game against them earlier on in the season. So I'm going to roll Jacoby Myers, actually. But you're starting Bowers, which is a little concerning. If you're not like into the 2 Raiders, which I get, trust me. DJ Moore's close enough for me. I'd start DJ Moore just to avoid both Raiders. But I do have DJ Moore or Myers ranked slightly higher than DJ Moore this week. You're welcome. Always noise, James. Always, 100%. A lot of people doing it. I'm not by any means a total expert. I would say that. Not even close. I analyze. That's what I do. I like to look at numbers. I like to watch film. I like to put them together, create a story. It's my job. Try to figure out that my story's right. Make the scientific method. It's basically what you're using here. Trying to make a very educated guess. We're guessing. Telling the truth. But some people just do it better as far as the process and finding stuff and trying to figure out the noise is always a tough, especially with injuries this year, James. It's been a disaster for injury reporting. But Tank Dell, does he start and flex over Westbrook? I probably would, James. I do like Akine. Good chance he scores. He's been hot as of late, but like the Texans turnaround games are coming, and we're seeing it. Dell's getting enough volume. He's still going to get the volume with Nico Collins. The concern would be that you see a ton of Joe Mixon again, but at some point, I think they got to stop riding Mixon. Mixon is up there in age. He already was hurt at one point. You're a playoff team. You're going to need Joe Mixon in December and January as opposed to now. So if anything, I think the Texans can pass pretty easily here on Tennessee today. So I would probably go with Tank Dell over Akine there, James. Matt Jennings. I'm not too worried about Brandon Allen. It's not going to be the high upside we see with Brock Purdy, but definitely serviceable. And I think it's an easier matchup for Jennings against Green Bay than it is Josh Downs against Detroit. And Braylon Allen and Anthony Richardson are pretty much the same passer. I'm going to tell you the truth. I mean, it is what it is. Richardson gives you the legs, but as far as passers go, yeah, I would still prefer Brandon Allen, I think, in the matchup based. KL, yes, we're going to get there. We'll get you there, KL. KL's referring to the Jalen Waddle week, in case anybody's wondering. Demetrius, good morning. With Lad being questionable for Monday night, do I start him or Jaden Reed? If there's no pivot for you on your roster or in waivers, you got to start Jaden Reed. I have McConkey ranked significantly higher than Jaden Reed, but with the concern, and I don't know if we see much. Maybe we'll hear something before 1 or 4, but like I doubt it. So I'd probably roll with Jaden Reed there. Keith, Jaden Daniels or Baker Mayfield. I'm going with Jaden Daniels here. Keith, like the spot against Dallas for him today. Which two do I start? Jordan Love, Mahomes, or Geno Smith? I would probably go Mahomes and Geno Smith there for you, Demetrius. I like Smith against Arizona and Mahomes against Carolina. I think he'll probably throw at least 1 or 2 touchdowns before they run. Jordan Love, I'm worried a little bit in that matchup. Another league, the other 2 quarterbacks. Who do I start, Daniels or Murray? I would start Jaden Daniels there. Dario, was a better flex, Bucky Irving, Quentin Johnson, or DeAndre Swift? I'm already starting J.K. Dobbins. I guess it depends what else you feel like you need, Dario. As far as like a safe couple points, a home run swing. Home run swing is Quentin Johnson, very boomer bust, but could have a huge night against a weak secondary in Baltimore. Bucky Irving's a safe couple points. DeAndre Swift's like the in-between there. So, yeah, if you feel like you just need a couple points, I'd go Bucky Irving for you there. David, do I risk McConkey or start Myers or estimate? I have Deontay on my bench, and Palmer and Disley are available for Monday night. Yeah, I mean, this is what I would do. I'd risk McConkey, add Will Disley for Deontay Johnson, call it a day. That's what I would do. And then if McConkey can't go and you can play Will Disley in your flex, that's what I would do, David. Because I have McConkey ranked at like 12. And who was the other player you were going back and forth on? Myers, yeah. Myers is... Where is he at here? I think I passed him. 27. So you're talking a significant difference there. Enough to risk that. I'd still keep Hawkinson. Matt here. I don't mind adding Disley. It's a pretty favorable schedule, and he's been hot-handed as of late. But I think Hawkinson will see an uptick as well, potentially starting today. Keith, I'm going with Richardson here. Not totally in on Richardson, especially as a passer, but I do think maybe he can run 1 or 2 in, which will give him the edge over Braylon Allen there. David, that's Will Disley for sure over Schultz, 100%. All right, Miles Gorman on X, Tank Dell, Rashad White, or Jaden Reed. I would go Rashad White. Or Jaden Reed there, sorry. Whoa. What is going on with my computer right now? ML, Will Disley, or Jonnu Smith. I would go Jonnu Smith. It's a good spot for him against New England. Another revenge game. We got a couple low key revenge games going on, boys and girls, that people may not know about. They may not. I've had been off of Twitter for a day, so I don't know if they're in on it. But let's see here. All PPR, Chuba Hubbard or D Hop would probably be Hubbard. Otten or Hawkinson would be Otten. Mayfield or Nix would be Nix. Pollard or Rashad White, I would go White or Pollard there. For W10 on X, George White on X. Need two of these three. Justice Hill, Lob, Shoemaker. Sit low. Jacobs or Brian Robinson. For Rob on X would be Jacobs. Cam Cooper on X. Javonte Jameson, Juwan Jennings. I would sit Javonte. Javonte Williams is a tough start right now. I like the matchup, but the issue with that is that it could be hot hand. It could be Audric Estime this week. We've already seen that unfold where it was Audric Estime, and then it was Javonte the next week. So tough start there. Baker or Bo Nix for STG84 is Nix. Luke Morning, we got Jennings, Purcell, Waddle, or Worthy. Thinking Waddle because Purdy is out, but what is your opinion? I still like Jennings here for you, Luke. PPR Flex, Sutton or Brian Robinson Jr. I would go Sutton there. Michael on X, Bucky or Tracy would be Tracy. For me there. Brent's on X, Akers, Benson, or Estime. I guess Estime. Could be his game. At least has a chance. Jerry, we got Roshan or Gus Edwards. Probably Roshan. Best chance to see more touches. I do think Gus Edwards has a chance to find the end zone in that revenge game narrative. But I think Roshan likely sees more touches. So I'm going to go with the guy that I think has potential to see more touches. Bear down movement, Jaden Daniels or Justin Herbert. I would go Daniels there. KTOY B23. Any changes here? Looks like Robinson, Disley, Shakir, Abdullah on the bench. Starting Hill, Hopkins, Javonte, Tracy. Yeah, no, I'm cool with that one. Chuba or Tyrone Tracy as a flex here for Alumalil would be Tracy for me. Javonte or Worthy for Adam would be Javonte there. Merrill Harris, Sutton, or Aaron Jones PPR. I would go Aaron Jones there. Kerry Kaplan on X. Need a wide receiver from these guys, McLaurin, Debo, Waddle, and Bucky. Also need a tight end. Mandrews, Theo Johnson, Schoonmaker. So that would be McLaurin and Devo. Yeah, I'd go Devo. And then tight end would be Mandrews for sure there. Defense, Bucks or Commanders. I would go Commanders. And then I would go Abdullah over Roshan in flex for Garrants on X. Lamar, Debo, Waddle, Pittman. Who do I start? I would do Debo there. Trev, need 2 PPR. Who do I sit? Irving, White, or Pollard? I would sit Irving personally. Trev. Zared on X. Pick 1 full PPR. DJ Moore, Jamison, Williams, or Bucky. I would go Jamison there. Adam, Ladd, or Marvin Harrison Jr. would be Ladd. And Gino over Anthony Richardson. Peyton Patterson, start 2 Neighbors, Tracy, McConkey. McConkey and Neighbors. Douglas. I have Debo Samuel and Jamon Jennings and Jalen Reed and Travis Kelce and Tank Dell. I need to pick 4. It's tough choices here. Reed, Kelce, Tank Dell. So I would probably go. I want to say I would sit Travis. Reasoning behind this is that there's a potential we see like Noah Gray in the second half if they're up a lot. We've seen this from Kansas City. Kelsey's being a little bit of a load management type of player. Rankings will tell you Tank Dell, but there's part of me that leads towards maybe sitting Kelsey. So if you feel the same, Doug, that potentially Kelsey could be sat in the second half, I would sit him. If you don't think that's the case, sit Tank Dell. David, start 1 of Javonte, Dubes, Douglas, Johnson, Wandell, Odunze. Don't start DJ Moore and Odunze, David. Don't do that. That's a dangerous game. I would probably go with Javonte then, David, just because DJ Moore's like your upside swing. So I would go with Javonte, a little bit safer floor. Devin C, Stafford, A. Rich, May, or Stroud. I would go Stroud there. And then Estimate Benson, Vele, or Abdullah. I would go Abdullah there. Okay, Niner Knight 702, Debo, JSN, Downs, Cortland, Sutton, pick 3. JSN, Sutton, and Debo. Neighbors are Hubbard. For Z-Bigs would be Neighbors. Lord of the Hundreds, Daniels, Love, or Baker would be Daniels for me. I also love hundreds. Very much so. If you've got some laying around, if you're the lord of them, hand them over. D Fox, best PG, pick 1. Tank, Disley, Rome, or Worthy would probably be Tank for me there. Let's see here. C. Henry, DJ Moore, Pollard, or Rashad White. I would go White and Pollard, I think, there. Murray or Herbert for Chekung Tallboy would be Herbert there. Man, rough week. Dowdle, Disley, or Abdullah? Robert. I'd probably ride Abdullah or Disley, but I lean towards Abdullah there. David, have Cook, Hall, Devontae, and Chase on by. Yeah, David, I have like the same thing going on. Everybody does. There's it's always, I saw the meme like a little while earlier in the week, I should say, and it was like me, and it's the happy-go-lucky person drafting everybody saying bye weeks don't matter, and then me in week 12 is just chaos and fire. Um, yeah, seems about right. But it's only week 12, David. So hopefully you don't need a huge win, and you can afford a loss. I'm in some of those situations, so I'm like not fretting it as much. Added some players, plugged them in, but like just looking to add some points, and maybe I got a shot. But in teams that I need a win, yeah, I'm a little scared. But OC, Tank Dell, Jordan Addison, or Wandell Robinson would be Tank Dell for me. OC. Robert on X, Evans, Jennings, Bucky Irving, McConkey start 2. I would go Evans and McConkey there. Richard Hazel, PPR, Tracy or Stevenson, D Hop or Odunze. I would go Tracy and D Hop. 55 Odunze or ANR. Sorry. Odunze or Laporta. I would go Odunze there. I wanted to say Laporta, but I think I'm going to go Odunze. It's pretty sad that that's pretty close, but it is. Let's see here, David. Well, I'm still starting Barkley, Connor, Jetta. Oh, okay. All right, David. Just rub it in. See how it's going now. This guy's over here starting Barkley and Jetta and Connor, and I'm starting Abdullah and Brandon Allen. Honestly, David, I don't feel that sorry for you anymore. All right. But RXT Wave Runner, Bucky or Swift. I would go. I'd go Bucky Irving there. Let's see here. MB Football, Swift Ikine or Hunter Henry. I would go Swift there. Dobbins, Hubbard, Bucky. Who do I sit? Probably Bucky there. Carlos, Ladd, or Jaden Reed would be Ladd. Stephen Austin, Tracy, or Flowers would be Tracy for me. Giles Lamont, good morning. Standard scoring, need 2. Neighbors, Rico Dowdle, Javonte Williams, or JSN. JSN and Neighbors for me. T-Money, Mostert, or Dubes, half PPR. It'd be Dubes. Sad day for Raheem Mostert just not being relevant anymore. Zach Pine, Jacoby Myers, or Quentin Johnston. It would be Quentin Johnston. Let's see here. Lloyd Dobler, JSN, Neighbors, or Downs. I would do JSN there. Lloyd. Easy, Richardson, or Stafford. I would do A-Rich there. Tank Dell, Jaden Reed. Four of these 5. Yeah, Doug. I would sit Kelsey if you think he's going to get sat in the second half. That's my concern with Travis Kelsey this week. If you don't think Travis Kelsey is going to get sat and you're going to see him for 4 quarters, I would probably start Travis Kelsey. And obviously the others, other than Tank Dell. Tank Dell, so it's between Tank Dell and Kelsey. Start the rest of them between Tank Dell and Kelsey. If you think there's an opportunity for Kelsey to get sat in the second half, then play Tank Dell. Doug, that would be my play. Raphael, Bucky, or D Hop. I would play D Hop there. L on X. Jennings or Hopkins. I already have. Oh, it's got Mahomes and Hunt. It's a good week to have all the Chiefs on your roster playing Carolina. So let's see here. Nate Lane need 2 of Waddle, Dubes, and Disley. I would sit Dubes. Nate. DMHJ or Tracy. I would go with Tracy there. Do need a good game from Marvin Harrison, though, in a couple spots, but I think we'll get it. I think Tracy, though, will have a big game. Odunze or Pittman. Battle of the I don't want to start. I would take Odunze there for you, Jack, though. Cha. Williams, White, or Pollard, 1 running back spot. I would go White there. Baker, Herbert, Loki, Dog of Mischief would be Herbert. Alex Gordon, pick 1. Marvin Harrison, Jennings, or D-Hop. I would go Marvin Harrison Jr. there. Alex. Mahomes or Goff. J to the on. I would go Mahomes. Whoa. Bum, 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 bum. Too many windows open here. We're going to close some of these. Got chaos going on this computer right now. Okay. There we go. Let's see if that cleans this up a little bit here. Mihomwick, Skim, and Odunze or Neighbors would be Neighbors for me. Sir, the Dynasty FF pick 2 for half PPR. Javonte, Goddard, or Jonnu would be Javonte and Jonnu. Smith for me. Von, Dell, or Eckler. I would do Dell there. All sports news, Nick Westbrook, Akine, or Vele. I would go with Nick Westbrook there for you. All sports news. Smokey, if Ladd isn't questionable, should I start him over JSN? Nah, I'd play JSN over Ladd. Hubbard, Power, Bucky need to sit 1. Would be Bucky for me there, Mike. I don't like how X recycles these. I can't go by time frames. I'm getting 5-minute ones, 2-hour ones. Sorry for the people that are waiting. Kevin Wheeler, Jennings, or Jamison Williams, or Downs. I still like Jennings here, Kevin. I think Brandon Allen will be fine and serviceable for these receivers. K-Man, JSN for sure over Marvin Harrison Jr. this week. Besides, back in Ohio State, remember? They all said JSN was the better one. Let them ride. At least that was Garrett Wilson and Olave, but let's see here. Eckler or DJ Moore, half PPR. Sean, jeez. DJ Moore, I guess, would be there. I mean, Eckler's got a good spot. I just think it's Brian Robinson they're going to pound the rock with as opposed to Eckler. And I don't think they're going to have to use him in the passing game like they did last week. So probably DJ Moore. I don't really like Leggett or Douglas either. So I'd probably take DJ Moore on the high upside swing. Kevin, Knuckles, and Cheers came in. D-Gen in a pigskin on X, half PPR bench, 1 of Worthy, Watson, Neighbors, Disley, or Hawkinson. I would say Watson. there. Nigel on X, pick two, Matt Stafford, Baker Mayfield, and Anthony Richardson. Also, full PPR, Jameson or Debo. So I would go Mayfield and A Rich, and then I would go with Debo Samuel. Nigel. BC, Swift, or Quentin Johnston. I'll go Swift there for BC. Kyle, Noah Brown, or Adam Thielen. That would be Noah Brown for me, Kyle. Let's see here. Steve Shank, Jacoby JSN, JMO start one. I would say JSN. Diggity needs three of Jennings, Debo Akers, Evans. I have Jonathan Brooks, but that's not happening. Best on waivers is I would say Jennings, Evans, Debo, or Westbrook Akine. Full PPR, sheesh on X options. Who do I bench out of these six? Two wide receiver, two running back, one flex. So your two wide receivers would be Puka and McLaurin. Two running backs would be Montgomery and Walker. So that's between Ramondre and Marvin for your flex. So I would say you've got Monty, Walker, Puka, Terry, Marvin Harrison Jr. There for you, sheesh. MJC Jr., Stevenson, Kyron Williams, Pollard would be Kyron. One slot between Ridley, Dell, Josh Downs, and Myers would be Ridley. George Kittle or Jonnu Smith would be Kittle for me. Nick Lloyd on X needs some advice for flex, neighbors, JSN, and for tight end, Disley or Jonnu. JSN and Jonnu. Broderick, Hubbard, or D-Hop. I would go Hubbard there. Broderick on X. Bruce Wayne, Juwan Hopkins, Quentin Johnston, pick two. I would sit Hopkins. Joe Schmore on X, pick three. PPR, Hill, Collins, JSN, McConkey. Sit McConkey. Mike, what's up, Mike? Daniels or Love would be Jaden Daniels for me, Mike. I like the spot against Dallas. Jordan Love, potential weather. At least they got snow before a few days ago. And on top of that, Jaden Daniels against Dallas, good spot. Divisional game. I'm sure that we'll see some good things out of Jaden Daniels this week. Rolo, Hunter Henry, Zach Ertz, or Cade Otton. I think we got that one for you earlier. Kane Thomas, Juwan Jennings without Purdy or Watson. I would still play Jennings there. Kane. Okay, I think we're caught up-ish here, at least on that. Here, Ryan. How confident are you Lad plays? I think he'll likely play, although... You're welcome, Mike. Ben bench one Swift, Jennings, or Jamison Williams. Probably Swift, Ben. I'd take the swing on both receivers there. Kenny Watts on X. Who would you start in flex, JK or DJ Moore? At quarterback, who would you start, Jaden Daniels or Baker Mayfield? I would go JK and Daniels there for you, Kenny. Live on X, Neighbors or Sutton. I would go actually Courtland Sutton here. Zach Ertz versus the Cowboys or Sam Laporta. I would go Ertz there for you, Rich. Billy need to start 3 of Saquon, Hunt, B-Rob, Bucky, or Tracy. Would be Saquon. Never leaves the lineup. Hunt and B-Rob. That would be my 3, Billy. Bob Richardson, Pittman, or Wandell. I would maybe go Pittman there, Bob. It's not ideal, but maybe do that. Nigel, I think we got you there. Mike, sit one. Downs, Debo, Pollard, Jawan Jennings. I'd probably sit Josh Downs, Mike. Don't like the matchup against Detroit. Jacob, need one flex. Shoemaker, Jacoby, or NWI, Westbrook, Ikine. I'd probably play Nick Westbrook, Ikine. Been a hot hand. He's been scoring touchdowns like it's his job. Kind of is his job. But yeah, I mean, at some point, it becomes basically a pattern. So I'm not going to come off of that. I'm not going to discredit him from being able to score touchdowns. So yeah, so I'm going to go with Nick Westbrook, Ikine as my start for you there. Let's see here. Lost you guys. Oh, there's a screen. Okay. When you have too many windows open and I lose the screen I'm looking at, it's a problem. Let's see, where is the inactives at? Sorry. Don't mind me, folks, just over here staring off into oblivion. All right, week 12. Any surprise inactives? Carolina, Jalen Coker's inactive. Surprise, right off the bat. All right. Guess that means when you get Adam Thielen, we don't get Jalen Coker. Okay. Didn't see that one coming. Good to know. Let's see here. Tyler Scott for the Bears. Nothing exciting there. Dallas Cowboys. Travion Diggs is interesting. That's the entire team. Just out. Lions. No Terrion Arnold. Ooh, that's interesting. Steven Sims. Nothing crazy in Houston. Nothing crazy in Indianapolis. KC. Miami. Minnesota, nothing crazy. New England, nope. The Giants, no. Tampa Bay, nope. Tennessee, no. And Washington, no. Nothing crazy there for inactives. Alrighty, got some more questions rolling in here. Slayton or a Kine for Ryan. I would go Kine. She loves Pat Bev, Kittle, or Hubbard in flex. I would go Kittle. There. Brett Worsing, Irving or Sutton would be Sutton for me there, Brent. Sir William Juwan Jennings without Purdy or Odunze, I would still go Juwan Jennings there, William. Robert Smithers, 3 of 4 spots. J.K. Chuba, Tracy Rashad, Janu, or Goddard. So I would go J.K., Tracy, and White there, and then Janu over Goddard. Were you there, Robert? David, start Debo or Odunze PPR. Also have Kittle, so I don't know if I want to start both. Still lean Debo there, David. Jerry, Murray, or Daniels would be Daniels still for me. Jerry. Not that I want to play either, but who do you like between Waddle or Odunze for J-Rub? I would go Waddle. Okay. Alrighty. Looks like we are getting to the question wall. It's 12:14. Time flies. I didn't even realize it's 12:14. Time flies when we're having fun, boys and girls. Much enjoyed here thus far. Let's see if we got any more questions I have missed. It's a chaotic morning. So we got one here for Go Canes. Mark Andrews or Hunter Henry would be Hunter Henry. Kicker question, Lutz, Schrader, or McLaughlin. I am going to go McLaughlin. A little bit of homer pick on the basis of I need some McLaughlin field goals kicked through the uprights. So non-PPR Sutton or Javante. I'd still go Sutton there for you. And then Debo or Harrison Jr. would still be Harrison for me. Adam. Okay, let's see here. Bob on X, Kittle or Disley. I still like George Kittle there, Bob. Coach Dilly, Nix, or Daniels. I still like Jaden Daniels there. Russ Prentice, Jonathan Brooks, or Trey Benson. I'd probably go Brooks. There. Alrighty. 12-17. All right. Looks like we've dried up a bit here. That was a good time. Head on over to tnfantasy.com, scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Sign up. Get access to all the great data. It's great. Stats Hub is fun. Lots of fun. It's great. Go in there. You can cycle through. You can go through snow games, non-snow games, rain games. Weather's coming. It's fall everywhere across the entire United States. So all those fun elements are going to join the game. We got bye weeks. We got to make some decisions. You can also use the splits tool to figure out how good is Debo Samuel without Brock Purdy. Could be helpful for you there. We got all of our rankings over there as well from our consensus for or so rankers. Myself, Scott Radcliffe, Mike Randall, Scott Spratt, Adam Pfeiffer, and more. All right. Get the Discord chat where you can get one-on-one questions answered as well from us. Whole on Dynasty chat if you like that. Check out the Dynasty podcast if you play Dynasty. Greatly appreciated if you follow along with me for that ride over there. But yeah, check all that stuff out. Be appreciated. Don't have to. Not saying you're obligated, but if you like me, be cool. Bella on X, Nix, or Mayfield would be Bo Nix for me there, Bella. But yeah, all that stuff would be appreciated if you could check that out. Helps me help you, helps me stay here every Sunday so you guys can get all your questions answered. And yeah, you know, the game of the week. Let's see here. Hopefully we get some wins as well for all of you. Hopefully my advice was sound. We get some good starts out there. If you got one, feel free to send it over to me. If you have a bad one, I guess if you wanna roast me over the coals, I'll take it. It's deserved if I was wrong for you, but feel free to send those over as well throughout the day. I'd appreciate seeing some positive, good starts early on. Leo Schaefer, start 2 half PPR, Stevenson, Swift, Harrison Jr., Irving. So I would say Marvin Harrison Jr. and Stevenson there for you, Leo. And Leo's got the last one in the mailbox for me. If you are watching, if you have not asked the question just yet, I lied to you. I got a couple more rolling in here in the last seconds. They caught me. I'll give you till 12:30. It's going to sneak out early, but Philly Birds starts at PPR Flex, Tyrone Tracy, Hubbard, Neighbors, or JSN. I would probably go JSN there. Baseline Junkies, Bucky Irving, or Trey Bride. At Flex, I would go McBride there. Buxton 6, Jonnu Smith or Quentin Johnston. I would do Jonnu Smith. Less variance there than Quentin Johnston. Probably not as much upside, but still strong, very good upside. So Jennifer Anderson, Mahomes or Love. And do I pick up Disley and drop Kraft? Mahomes for me. Yes, Ed Disley. And yes, I would take Will Disley over Tucker Kraft. Okay. Any more questions? Rolling in here. Baseline Junkies also has picked 2 bye-week flex fill-ins. Noah Brown, Devon Bailey, Alec Pierce, Dula, Kendrick Bourne, Jalen McMillan. So I like Noah Brown, and I'll go Abdullah there. Another question here. Leave it as is. Bo Nix, Josh Jacobs, Ken Walker, AJ Brown, Nico Collins, Brian Robinson, as Tracy Watson, Nakua on the bench. Benching Nakua's bold. I think I would. Okay. It seems like we're slowed down. I think we're gonna call it a ceasefire here as far as questions rolling in go here. Again, I appreciate everybody who tuned in today. Enjoy football. Enjoy week 12. If you're a Bills fan, don't stress it. Sit back, enjoy, watch some football. That's what I'm gonna do. Again, like I mentioned earlier, too, don't check your scoreboard. It gets crazy. Drive yourself crazy. Just watch the games. Enjoy it. Yeah, once it's locked, you can't do anything. You know? Check it every now and then. Halftime. I'll give you that. Halftime, end of the games. I'll call you that. That's fine. I do that. But every 2 seconds, we don't need it. So relax a little. Enjoy the ride. It's a ride up and down. So again, thank you for tuning in. And I will be back here again in week 13 to help you with all of your possible questions as we inch closer to the playoffs here in many leagues. In some leagues, you may be in the playoffs depending on how your league's format is. Cough, cough, Scott Fishbowl. Good luck to everybody. Hopefully, we get some wins out there. And until next time, take care.